Greetings, metal community, and welcome to the Black Metal list of 2024. My name is, as always, Roger. If you haven't already checked out my channel before, welcome to potentially new subscribers or just people that are curious on my list. That's nice. You don't need to subscribe to my channel just to watch my list. Yeah, it's been a great year for black metal in my opinion, especially the kind of black metal that I am into. I was thinking about doing 20, but I landed on 15 releases. I think these are the best so far. There's a couple of latecomers that I haven't I just didn't want to put them in here. They are great, but like Old Ridge and stuff like that, but I just felt that I needed more time with those albums, and also have a pre-order out for the new Panzerfaust, which I suspect would end up on the list, but yeah, I won't get it until next year anyway, so yeah, this is what I have, and of course I have to have it on physical format to show it on my list as always. In the background we will be listening to Korpblod, Norrön, Megi, Swedish black metal that released 3 albums in 2009, 10 and 11. Pretty damn good stuff. Don't see this pop up a lot on the channels. I think there were pretty limited editions of them as well. Yeah, just awesome Swedish black metal. But yeah, let's get into the list. This was a latecomer, but I did have it on digital formats for a good month before I got the vinyl, so I was pretty familiar with it. It's the new Deinonychus. I did show this in my last collection update as well, with Fatalist. Yeah, just yeah, from Netherlands. Out on Van Records. This is a it's not necessarily a one-man project, but there's a kind of one leader in the band called Marco Keren. He did sing on the 3rd album for Bethlehem, Satanic or something. Yeah, black vinyl. Pretty doomy black metal. They do speed up. It's also sometimes here and there, but for the most part it's mid-paced and slow black metal. They do kind of build up the songs. They are monotonous and kind of yeah, I wouldn't say one riffy, but there's not a lot of riffs going into the songs, but they have always nice build-ups, and it took me 4 or 5 spins really to get this album to really grab me, but I'm liking it more and more. But it gets the 15th place because I haven't had it that long, and still kind of digesting it. On the 14th place I have a Norwegian band called Avmakt, Satanic Inversion of. This is very much a dark throne worship in the vein mostly of, like, we say hate them, ravishing grimness, but also like Transylvanian Hunger, Under a Full Moon, those albums as well. Especially the last song is kind of going kind of backwards into Darkthrone's catalog. So if you're kind of missing the good old Darkthrone, go and check out Avmakt. It's a very well done Darkthrone worship in my opinion. On 13th place, I need to check my list so I do this right. We have Bythos from Finland. The title is Chthonic Gates Unveiled. This band consists of, Horner member, the Hexen members, the vocalist at least from the Hexen, and 2 guys from Horner. I think one of them also play in Behexen. So again, Terra 2 Possession releases that will be heavily on this list. Yeah, this is the first album by Bythos was kind of a little bit too similar to Behexen in my opinion. It was very good, but it didn't kind of bring anything new to the table. Not that this album does it, but it's kind of have its own character and have removed themselves away from that instant Behexen feel that I got from the previous album. So I think this album is better than the previous album. A good step up, and really enjoy it. And also, I think it's the third song, Wolf of Hades, or maybe Hidden Heart of Darkness. Third song on the first side. That's a fucking banger of a song. If all the songs had been as good as that, this would be much higher. But it's a little bit uneven, but there's some absolutely banger tracks on this album. Then we are going to number 12, which is from France. Le France de Maudits, Seth. Of course, had to be here. I am a big fan of this band, out on Season Mist. Came with a poster and a nice, booklets with pictures and lyrics. Yeah, I mean, most of you know Seth, so I don't need to talk too much about them. I feel that Seth has kind of follow a little bit times with the black metal. They have renewed themselves without kind of getting lost their kind of signature riffing and stuff like that. But yeah, great vocals as well, especially on this album. I think probably his best performance vocally. Brings a lot of aggression to it. The music is a little bit more kind of, I wouldn't say symphonic, but yeah, it's very good. I haven't listened to this for a couple of months, but it's just a awesome album. Once again from Seth. Next is number 11 from the Netherlands, Deathless Void. Yeah, you could argue if this is kind of a blackened death metal or whatever. I feel it's way more black metal than death metal on this album, but it's a little bit heavy vocally, and also the kind of the guitar tone are borderlining onto death metal on some songs. But yeah, there's the hype sticker so you can see the name better. I will of course link up the whole list down below, and so you can go and check them out. But fucking great album. This is an album that I should have spent more time with, really. It gets better for each spin and might have been higher on the list, but yeah, I was just kind of an instant album for me to buy and listen to it a lot when I got it, and put it away, and when I revisit it now I should have kind of played it more, but time is an issue. But very good. I would say black metal with death metal kind of heaviness. There are some death metal riffs here as well, but just an awesome album by Deathless Void. And yes, we are re-sleeving on camera. Then we are into the top 10. Number 10 was Parfaxitas, in kind of an international group. 2 members from the US. One of them plays in Suffering Hour, and then you have one guy from Sinmar, or from Iceland, who plays in Sinmara, and we have the vocalist of Whoredom, Rife. Another Terra 2 Possession release that comes with a great booklet. There's also a poster of the cover, but I'm not want to do this list too long. Musically, this is In the vein of, I would say Achilles, but they are not so intense. But they do have that kind of light, ice cold kind of lead guitar going over some of the songs. It's not a copy of Achilles, but some songs there reminds me a little bit of that. So it is in those veins, but Achilles is way more intense than these. This is kind of more of a. If you think Achilles is too much for you, you might check this album out. It's a little bit easier to get into, and I really like it. There's a lot of good variation as well, and you can kind of hear that all the members are from different countries because there are some Icelandic black metal here as well, and yeah, just a awesome album by Parfaxitas. The title is Weaver of the Black Moon. And again, as I said, Terror Possession. Then we have number 9. So Sean Beast showed this. This is Misotheist. I don't know if this helps, but yeah, another Terror Possession and another very nice packaging. Is a kind of embossed cover. Have a poster of the cover and this booklet here with also embossed pictures. So yeah, fantastic, another fantastic release by Terror when it comes to packaging. Black vinyl, of course. Yeah, just a fantastic album. It's a 3-song album, 2 on the first side and 1 long track, over 20 minutes long track on the B side, but it kind of, you never get bored with this. It is in the vein of the Norwegian scene now, like I would say the Trondheim scene. It's very kind of in a way monotone, but in the way they play, they kind of just shift through the riffs, and it floats very well. Awesome album, another album that should have been played more and might have been higher on the list if I had played it more, but it seems like most of these albums have been underplayed in a way, but yeah, just a fantastic album, fantastic voice, vocals. It's all done by I think Brage Kråbøl, and we will get back to him later on the list. But yeah, that was number 9. Number 8 is a band from Czechia. I always say that these guys are from Poland, but Triumph Genus with Eugenika. Just got the vinyl in a couple of weeks ago, but I have had it on tape since summer, and this is awesome album. Again, black vinyl. The style, especially the guitar tone here, is very reminiscent of the early Satyricon. Also kind of Dödenskar, Krone to Kongen. There are some riffs here as well that reminds me a lot of, the 2 first Satyricon albums. But what separates this band is the vocals. It's kind of a very harsh, almost like reading the lyrics, not screaming it, but it's very harsh, cool vocals. It's kind of separates them a little bit from the masses. But yeah, if you like early Satyricon and want a different style of vocals, the guitar tone is very much there. So a fantastic album. I've listened to this quite a lot actually, because as I said, I got it on tape pretty early on. So yeah, then we are on 7th place. We're going to New Zealand. This album is also a little bit too low on the list, but it has to do with the other albums being too good. This is Verberis with the Apophatic Violence. And the only guy I know here who plays is the drummer who plays in Ulcerate. The first album by these were kind of more like a black metal version of Ulcerate, I felt, but this album is progressed way more. It is progressive black metal, but it is quite intense and also dissonant at the same time. I like the way that he kind of changed the drum style on this album, so it doesn't get all these kind of ulcerated drum fills and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think these guys have evolved very nicely from the first album, which was a banger of an album, but this album is just awesome. Hate the lyrics because they are written like this, so yeah, try to read them and you will get fucked in your head. But yeah, number 7, Verberis from New Zealand. Awesome stuff. It's kind of more complex than most of the other stuff that I show here. Then we are coming to number 6, with another release by Mr. Kråbøl. This is Enevelde and Pandemonium. I think this was just released on 100 copies of tape. There should be a CD and vinyl for it, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I don't know why. Enevelde has kind of been a band that haven't made it. Kind of the first 2 albums was, I don't know if it was the production or the songwriting wasn't quite there, but this is really good. This is a good step up from their previous albums. Again, it's a little bit repetitive and monotonous in the way he does, but all his kind of 3 bands are very different from each other, but also recognizable. So it's very cool that he managed to do it. It has a very nice evil feel to it, the whole album. And again, if I had it on vinyl, I would probably have played it more than I do have done the tape. But yeah, it was very cool to revisit this one as well. Killer album. I hope the vinyl, I mean, I'm sure the vinyl will come next year, but I don't know why. So yeah, next one is the 3rd release by, yeah, it's also Territory Possession has been behind this tape. There was another label that was responsible for it, but yeah. And number 5 is Kråbøl. This is Brage Kråbøl from Enevelde and Misotheist, and he has been joined with his father Terje and his uncle I think his uncle played drums and father played bass, or vice versa, and also grandfather Kråbøl is present with trumpet. Another awesome release by Territory. This is of course a picture of birch bark, because there is a picture of a picture called Bjerkestorm, painted by Mr. Dahl from Norway. Very cool. There's a poster of this birch inside. Yeah, his father played drums, so yeah. Again, not lyrics or anything. I think maybe there is. No, there's not. That's the poster. And this album is more primitive in the vein of some of these riffs are more like towards Butzen, which I think is awesome. Has kind of the same feel as Butzen, not the same vocal style, but do manage to make simplistic riffs sound awesome. So this is kind of his most simplistic material, but for me the material that has been best. As I said, Enevelde might have been better than this if I had it on vinyl and listened to it even more, but yeah, just another banger of an album. So young Kråbøl has 3 albums on my list that should be a proof that he is a very good musician. So normally on the other project he plays all the stuff, but here he's joined with family members, so that's awesome to have a family band together with, you know, your father and uncle and grandfather. That must be awesome. And yeah, that was number 5, wasn't it? Yes. Then we have Number 4 for me this time is a CD. The vinyl is being released on 15th of January. This is the new Djevel album, Natt till Ende. Fantastic album. Again, Djevel is pretty well known for black metal guys. Have these old Norwegian style, but just a fantastic, more kind of atmospheric than the old Norwegian scene, but the same kind of guitar sound and feel to it. Fantastic album. The only reason why this is number 4 and not number 1 is that the last song is a little bit too long. It drags out a little bit too much, and that puts this down to the 4th spot. I might change my mind on this later down the road, but if they had dropped a couple of minutes on the last song, I'm sure this would be number 1, but it's number 4. Yeah, killer album by Djevel. If you like previous Djevel, you will love the new one as well. Then we are going to number 3. It's the new Whoredom Rife. Again, Territory Possession, and again a absolutely fantastic vinyl release. You pull it out here and open it up. It's just so fantastically well done. Yeah, I just have to show you all the shit that's in here, but it's a lot. The booklet, you don't get lyrics here, but you get a lot of cool pictures. It's a 2-man project, but they do have a full kind of live band from other members in the scene. But yeah, it's packed full with great black metal stuff, and also a poster. So yeah, I did see Horse of Unreason's list, a guy from Sweden, if you don't know him, and he had the CD version that also looked pretty damn cool, so I think you get your value for the money if you buy, or you don't buy vinyl and just want it on CD. It looks pretty damn good, the CD as well. So yeah, Whoredom Rife is a little bit more dense sounding, and has a kind of a massive wall. It almost sounds a little bit symphonic, but it's just layers with guitar for the most part. Very intense music, great vocals. The production here is a little bit kind of murky, but I think that's kind of very fitting for this album. And you can go and listen to the first track, and if you don't like the first track, you won't like the album, but because that's a fucking banger of a song, but totally the most good-looking, fantastic release ever. Again, quality Norwegian black metal, and another fantastic release by Territory Possession. Then we are going to number 2 on the list. I'm very happy to announce that Koldbrann is back, Ingen Skånsel, and back in good shape. Their previous album, was it Vertigo, that came out ages ago, was very disappointing in my opinion. Too clean production on it, and too like boring production wise. I can't speak of the songs because I haven't listened to that album in probably 10 years, but this is back to where they should be, and you also have one of the best black metal vocalists there with Mannevond. He has an awesome, intense, angry vocal. It's also mostly it's Norwegian lyrics, but they do have translation for each. But they kind of they have fucked up the lyrics on the 2 last songs. They should be switched. But yeah, in your face, aggressive black metal, just in the vein of Moribund, if you know that album. It's way more back to that level of awesomeness, in my opinion. I just fucking love this album, and I'm so glad that they are back in good shape. Then my number one, some of you know what's coming, but that is Königreich from Poland with Psalmen or Delirium. Looks like this. These are the lyrics underneath the pictures. Black vinyl, again, out on Gods of War production. I was blown away by this album. It doesn't sound like anything else that I picked up this year. It is not like complex or anything. It's very raw, but it's intense. It's kind of a little bit disturbing. The vocals are all over the place. Very cool vocal performance here. Intense. He sounds deranged and yeah, sounds like a fucking lunatic sometimes, and other times he's crying. But yeah, it's just a fantastic album. The production on this album also pretty damn good, very well balanced, and you get all the details from the bass and everything. If I should compare them to somebody, it does sound a little bit Polish, some of the songs, but more in the vein of Mgła, but it's nothing like Total Package. It's not that. It's way more variated, and you get. It's not blasting as much, but it's very intense, nevertheless. So yeah, I will link it up below so you can go check it out. I've talked highly about this album before, so don't need to speak more. The video is too long enough as it is. So yeah, that was my black metal list for this year. Leave a comment below. What's your picks? What's your kind of you feel that I should have picked? Give me your top 5 or whatever you want to put in there. Yeah, just let me know what you think about my list and what should have been there. There's a lot of albums that I haven't, picked up, and there might be some that I have missed out on as well, and that's something that always appears in these videos, that people are reminding you of the stuff that you should have picked up. So yeah, thanks as always for watching, and until the next video, vi kjøs.